panel. Mr. Jason Phillips is here. And welcome. Good night, Mr. Phillips.
Good evening, Marcia. Good evening, St. Peter. And by extension, good evening, Barbados. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you. And you know, our topic for tonight, what is it? Marcia.
Yes.
Topic for tonight.
I will tell you what it's about. I love the topic. I told them it's a nice, heartwarming story. Tonight we are talking about, based on what you sent me, we're talking about an elderly person in St. Peter, and that you went and you did some, cleaning up around the home of this elderly person. And I thought that was such a wonderful gesture, Mr. Phillips. And I'm looking forward to you speaking about that. It's right.
That's just one aspect of it. Really, really and truly, we're looking at Barbados public borrowing since 2018. What every Barbadian should know. And we are asking, Barbados not really mean, Barbados are asking, are we getting value for money? And then I'm going to take you, in fact, we're going to start off by looking at a family in Fort Hill, St. Peter, what some people call Lonesome Hill. And we see that people are living in dire straits and that the members of parliament are not looking after the people. They are beginning to act as though they are celebrities and not representatives of the people. And I just want to remind them that a member of parliament is really a servant. That word minister means servant. And I'll let you get on with the one with me in a suit first, right? Where I am in a suit first, talking to the lady. And then we move to because on Thursday, I was in chambers and I was summoned to Spikestown to see a gentleman. We chatted. And I did what I had to do. And while speaking to that man in Spikestown, I got another call to come in Fort Hill in deep St. Peter. So I rush off in my suit. Normally the sun was hot, and she was lamenting that she was in a hard place. And you don't always want to publicize everything. I only publicize between 7 and 8% of what I really experienced with the good people of St. Peter. But this one was so heart-wrenching, I thought I would share it with the public. And then we went back yesterday and we assisted along with some other people in the community and groups as well. So if you could show them the video first.
Yes, I think David's gonna put it up. I think we totally misunderstood what you wanted.
And then we're gonna get into the meat of the discussion, the amount of borrowing. I dare say that perhaps this Barbados Labour Party led administration, led by the Prime Minister of Barbados, none other than Prime Minister Mayor Amar Motley, she would have borrowed the most money ever in the history of Barbados, and perhaps all of the Caribbean combined. You may go ahead.
Yeah, go right ahead, Dave. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Barbados. Sometimes you have to put certain things on social media, right? Not that you want to expose the government all the time, but the government is here to serve the people. Members of parliament are not celebrities, they're servants. And I'm here in Lonesome Hill, or what people call Fort Hill, in St. Peter. And I was summoned here by a concerned citizen. And this lady here, isn't that she lazy? She's working. She has a family. I can see that they're fighting. And I was told from 2018, right, this is an ongoing issue. So I'm going to listen to you. I am on the camera, not you, because sometimes, your state is so dire. Sometimes people still have the dignity. But tell the public exactly what happened.
From 2018, when Hurricane Elsa hit our house was severely damaged in the hurricane.
Yes.
And after everything had passed, they came out and stuff.
Who's they?
The nation came out. The ministers came out.
Ministers? We said ministers, really?
Colin Jordan, he came. We had Alwyn Bob as well came. Alwyn Bob spoke to us and
You mean Alwyn Bob of the Democratic Party?
Yes, please. He came and he has spoken to us. He lended his hand when electricity was off. He got it back us for us. He got us water and stuff. He got us hampers and stuff.
You mean Alwyn Bob that was in the opposition did all of that for you?
All that he did, all of that for us. Colin Jordan came. He, spoke to us. He tell us he would see what he can do, work on it. Since 2018, we are in 2026 now. I have had persons from the revenue came, they asked questions, they took pictures, they surveyed the house and all of that. Nothing.
So after all that long talk from the member of parliament for St. Peter, nothing was done for you?
Nothing.
Okay. Oh, listen, I'm going to take the rest of the information from you because I don't want to prolong this. I'm going to write the relevant department in government as well. I'm going to start the video here. That's enough. Continue with the second video before we get into the oral discussion. Because that video is a follow-up from this video.
Right. Okay. So, Dave, continue with the first video that we had advertised. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to take him a little. Keep going, Jason.
Okay, well, time. To remind our viewing public, the topic tonight is Barbados's public borrowing since 2018. Whatever Barbadians should know. In other words, are we getting value for money? And since taking office on the 24th of May, 2018, the Barbados Labour Party administration, he's there. Let me go ahead. Are you satisfied with the work that was done?
Very, very satisfied. Thank you. It's a first. It is a first because you showed up and the community showed up and they came out. These people came out and they helped us. And I'm very grateful for it. And that's fair to time my aunt received the ramp that we was promised 2 years ago.
So my efforts something that the people are supposed to do, right?
Yes, they do.
Good. You got Greg. You want to say anything to good people? He's a hard worker, so talk.
That's one thing. Those who came out to assist in the cleanup today. And Kevin, Matthew, all those who came out. We had the Barbados support here today as well. So I just want to thank everybody, members from the St. Peter District Emergency Organization as well.
Let people see the building.
I'm 40.
This 40 feet here. I saw 40
right? Today. So we're very thankful.
Like it was a whole community effort. But sometimes you have to hold the government speak to the third. Yes, Marcia.
Yes.
Right. So let me explain what you saw there, and then we get into a robust debate. Now, as I said, I was summoned to Fort Hill, that is in deep St. Peter in the Indian Ground area. And this young lady and her family are saying that the government of Barbados, this Barbados Labour Party led administration, has promised her family that they would assist her. That's right after the storm in 2018. And this is 2026, exactly 8 years after they have been in office and 3 election cycles. And the member of parliament for St. Peter gave the lady an empty promise. And what you're seeing in the second video is me in Fort Hill assisting that family along with other groups. Now, those groups probably were motivated because they saw the video, and we all came together as a community to assist this lady. But it's a crying shame because this government, the Barbados Labour Party, has borrowed about 1.5 billion US dollars. We had that discussion 3 weeks ago. $1 billion is 1,000 million. 1,000 million. Can you wrap your head around those figures? And E.M.M.A and her administration borrowed 1.5 billion US dollars, US dollars. And the question is, are Barbadians getting value for money? And the answer has to be no. You cannot get one smooth road coming from Indian Ground to Spikestown. You cannot get one smooth road coming from Basketball to Spikestown. You cannot get a smooth road coming from French Village. In fact, they paved the road from the Trimark supermarket in Mile Quarter up to Mount Beverton and stop. Why did they carry on that paving up to French Village and into Indian Ground? And you know why? Because I lamented that it was 22 years ago that they promised to fix the road in Mount Beverton. Only around the election cycle, they sped up perhaps what they had planned to do. But you cannot continue to mama guide the people. The same thing happened in Six Men's Village. I have another video, I could have probably given you that as well, where they promised that by December 2025, that the residents of Six Men's would have their title deeds to the land that their houses are on, and not one soul received a conveyance. Now, when they promised to give the residents their title deeds in 2025, earlier in the year, I did not complain, I did not fight, because I did not want to be seen as the fly in the ointment. But I know that the people of St. Peter supported the Barbados Labour Party for 79 years, 364 days, because it's only on one occasion, on one day, that the Democratic Labour Party got their support on the civic. And that was even that was overturned in the court ruling. Yes, this is 6 months right in front of us. And you have to ask yourself, what is going to happen to these houses? I don't think that these people are going to get their title deeds because the road is in a state of disrepair. But if you give international organization the permission to build a luxury hotel, right in front of us, you can see that luxury hotel going up. They will never spend that kind of money if they do not have title deeds. And if they could come from far and yonder and get a title deed, why can't a Barbadian living in Barbados with their neighbor Streamberry right here get a title deed? These people are playing Russian roulette with the people's emotions. They are lying to people. And I'm not afraid to use the word lying tonight. From the time of the ONAFA administration, the people of 6 months were being promised that they would get the land in 6 months. Up to now, they can't get it. The girl and her family living in Fort Hill was promised from 2018 by the Member of Parliament for St. Peter that he would look into it. What does that mean? That he would assist her. And up to today, the promise have not been fulfilled. Well, I am in opposition. I don't collect tax dollars, so there's not much that I can do as it relates to assisting people with housing and so on. But I will do my 2 cents worth. I will come, I will be an ear, I will listen to you, I will be your voice, and where I can organize the community to assist, I will do that until I can do more. I can tell you, if I was in office, your house will be fixed, because I will move heaven and earth, tooth and nail, for the good people of St. Peter.
Yes.
This government has borrowed more money than we can ever imagine. And borrowing is not unusual for governments. The important questions are, how much has been borrowed? What the money was used for?
Correct.
Has Barbados received value for the money that was borrowed? And finally, who will repay these debts? I can say this to you, Marcia, that our Prime Minister is not going to be in office long enough to repair that $3.5 billion US dollars. So she can borrow it and she can use it as she like. But she don't have to sprain her brain about paying back that money. And she borrowed a lot of this money from the International Monetary Fund. In fact, we are in an IMF program as we speak. E.M.M.A, our Prime Minister, took Barbados into the hands of the IMF. And we saw what the IMF did to places like Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. In fact, it seems here that we have borrowed over over 600 million just from the IMF alone.
Marcia, I hope you don't mind me calling you Marcia. You prefer Mrs. Weeks.
No, Marcia, whatever you want to call me.
The
It doesn't matter.
Look, you said the IMF lent Barbados $322 million on the BERT program. Then they came back again and lent us another $85.5 million for economic reform. Then the IMF came back again and lent us $141.75 million for climate resilience. They came out and lent us another $500 million for debt refinancing and liquidity management. And then again, in a standby arrangement, they lent us $189 million in 2026. Listen,
yeah.
The problem is this. The BLP-led government has a lot of money, the most money ever borrowed, and they do not have an opposition in parliament to question the spending of this money. And we are only talking about money borrowed. How about taxation? How about taxes earned or collected from the public? Our Prime Minister has a lot of money to play with, and we're not seeing value for money. Yes, she would have patched 1 or 2 roads or built a road here and a road there. But with the amount of money borrowed, can we say that the money has been put to good uses? The roads in Barbados are the worst ever. Few streetlights are burning. And here was where you had about 3 weeks of flooding on the main highway, the bypass highway. Just above where the old Hillwoods Hotel was. It took the drainage unit 3.5 weeks to come down there and look at that fiasco. And I am planning to go and do a video because guess what they did, Marcia? They didn't pave the road properly. They put dirt in the potholes.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't even roll it. They just patched it with dirt and left it for the cars to drive over and flatten it down. This government is ridiculous. And I bet you, we're in the rainy season now. If we get a good downpour, a rain that is going to wash away and we're going to be back at square one. These people do not care about the good people of St. Peter and by extension Barbados. Where was the minister for the constituency of St. Peter walking around, looking at the problem, taking notes, listening to the people and ensuring that the problem is rectified in a satisfactory way? I am going to say this and I'm going to say it again. And I'm speaking specifically to the members of parliament. Yes, this one we see on screen here. Members of parliament, you are not celebrities. You are servants. And Barbadians are very disappointed in the work that you have done so far. These people are taking Barbadians for granted. As we said before, the elections held on the 11th of February 2026 were very questionable. Remember, and I just want to bring back at these things, even though we are talking about debt and so on, remember that a number of people were barred from voting. Remember that the head of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission did not have the voters list ready at the time that the election was called. But after election, he was placed in the upper house as a government senator. And we said that that looks untidy. Even if you did not do anything wrong, the mere fact that the Prime Minister of Barbados selected you as a government senator after heading the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, and we had a lot of inconsistencies, irregularities in this last election, and then the government want to put you as a senator, it does not look good. It looked as though something was afoot. How the France, you could be managing and supervising an election in Barbados. Imagine if you were a cricket umpire or a football referee, and at the end of the game, you went and had beers with the winning team. It will look very, very suspect. But that's a discussion for another day. I will keep poking at the former head of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, because come the next general election cycle, Jason Phillips is not going to allow this rubbish to happen. I will take it to court if needs be. I am saying that the money was spent under the economic stabilization program, the BERT program. We had money being spent for COVID. We had money supposedly spent for road rehabilitation. I cannot agree that the roads in Barbados have been rehabilitated, because the majority, I feel as though about 98% of the roads in Barbados are still in a state of disrepair, and the lighting is very poor. And if you look at the size of the road, we do not have a debushing program in Barbados anymore. It seems as though government has abandoned its portfolio to manage the affairs of Barbadians with the taxes that they collect from Barbadians and from the money that they borrowed.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things, because we also have been doing some research on the borrowing, and something here that I had found was that before 2018, Barbados has drawn approximately $46.5 million.
That's US dollars, right?
We're talking about US dollars under its two previous IMF. So if everybody can think of what Jason is saying, before 2018, okay, cumulatively, we would have borrowed $46.5 million under the two previous IMF programs since 2018 Barbados. And we did this on the program. So this is just a reminder. Barbados has drawn down approximately 548 $0.8 million US dollars, nearly 12 times the two periods that happened before 2018. These are the things that we must remember and talk when we're talking to people in our offices, and you're talking to people in your church groups. Talk to them about this. This is real facts, real information. This is what Mr. Phillips is saying. Go ahead, Mr. Phillips.
Listen, borrowing itself is not necessarily good or bad. What matters is whether borrowed money produces lasting benefits. Citizens should therefore ask, have public services improved in proportion to the borrowing? Has borrowing significantly improved healthcare, water supply, and roads? Has economic growth kept pace with increased borrowing? Are wages rising fast enough to improve the living standards? And will future generations bear a heavy debt burden? And perhaps we can stick a pin by the cost of living. Has economic growth kept pace with increased borrowing? We know that Barbadians are crying out. There was a time, we said this 3 weeks ago, if you can remember, Marcia, that you could have worked in Barbados for about $4,000 a month. And that was enough money to pay a mortgage, purchase a car, get on vacation when the summer comes with your family, and afford groceries and pay your bills. We're saying in 2026, you have two adults living in a house, a man and a woman, and their children, and they have two incomes, probably $5,000 or $6,000 each, and they cannot afford to pay the mortgage, pay for the vehicles they have, license and insure them, pay utilities, and buy food, and go on a vacation in summer. That is a time of the past, because the cost of living in Barbados is too high. And what is government doing? Are they making sure that prices in the supermarkets are competitive by allowing other franchises to come in and set up business to compete among one another to drive down the prices? Are they paving roads and creating jobs for Barbadians and so on and so forth? What we are seeing is that instead of hiring Barbadians and paying good wages and salaries, they are importing labor from India, from Pakistan, from Latin America, from South America, to compete with Barbadians and our CARICOM brothers and sisters. And we are not seeing the government fight for the average Barbadian. The same minister or the same representative for Parliament for the Constituency Assembly is also the Minister of Labour. And he cannot really speak to any significant program that is protecting the people, the jobs of ordinary Barbadians. Only about 2 weeks ago, I went to a manager on the Pendry project going up in 6 months.
6 months, yes.
And I was lamenting. I said, listen, I am not seeing sufficient locals being employed. I must admit, since the election, we have seen improvement. But I am still seeing some unusual and strange faces, and seeing some faces that look as though people are from Europe or from South America. And I'm not seeing enough people on the project that look like me or that look like you. I'm hearing some accents and some languages that don't sound like the English language or the Barbadian dialect. And what is the Minister of Labour doing to address or arrest this situation? I cannot speak to anything that he has done of recent to help Barbadians in the job market. As a former candidate in the last general election, I am now getting a number of people coming to me with a lot of concerns, a lot of issues, and these are commonplace issues that should be addressed by members of Parliament. I don't want to speak specifically because I don't want people to be identified. I am not happy with how the government is treating Barbadians. And I know you can come and tell me that time going in a minute. I watched my clock this night because you do this to me all the time. So in conclusion, Marcia, the official record shows that the Barbados government has relied extensively on borrowing since 2018 while implementing economic reform under the program. And we in Barbados are now concerned that we are at a stage where I think for every $100 we make, we are now repaying about $96 to service the debt. So it means that the government only have about $4 to spend to pay for the services that Barbadians have become accustomed to: free healthcare, free school meals, free education, and so on and so forth. In all fairness, though, I must admit, I like to be a fair person. The debt, the GDP has declined from 98.9% to the said 96%. So even though it is still very high, this administration has brought down the debt slightly. And if that continues,
the debt to GDP slightly, not the debt.
Right. So at the end of 2024, 2025, it stood at 98.9%. That's $99. That's $99 in every $100 bill. So basically, for every dollar we were making, we were paying away 99 cents to service the debt, and we only have 1 cent to spend in Barbados. So when the government was around and talk about they have all of these weeks in foreign exchange, remember it's borrowed money. So if you have a bank account and you borrow money from your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, your friend, and your bank account look fat, remember the money is yours. You still got to pay it back. And you have to pay it back with interest. So Barbados is in a very, very ticklish position. Remember, we have a very fragile economy. Our economy is based on tourism and foreign investment, direct foreign investment when people come in. And therefore, the government must do more. They have to invest in the people, and they must reduce the level of borrowing. I am concerned. Barbadians are concerned with the level of borrowing. Marcia, it's over to you. You can ask me a question or two, and then I can make
I don't even have time. I mean, you're very, very thorough. I don't have time to ask a question or two. But just to say to people that I think what you're doing is to continue to remind us, because we need to not forget. And I think that's what this and it's good. It's good that in all that is happening, we remember. And that's what you are doing tonight. And I want to thank you so much for joining us, reminding us. And I want to say to you all the very best in St. Peter. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep looking out for the people of St. Peter and for Barbadians on a whole. And we're going to see you again next week.
And Marcia, I must say this publicly. Marcia, you are doing a fantastic job. You are almost like the official opposition out of Parliament. You are being a voice.
Well, when you say me, you should say the team, the whole show. Okay?
Yes. But you're the face, so I call your name, right? But keep doing what you're doing. We need a voice out there for the average and ordinary Barbadian.
Yes,
and you're going to get a lot of criticism, but you continue to fight.
Yes, we do it together. We do it together. And I'm going to ask you, to talk to your people about putting a flag on the outside of their home. That's something that we're starting. Here on the show, we want everybody to, for the 60th, put up a flag on the outside of your home. We don't need to wait on the government to tell us to do that. We're Barbadians. Put up a flag on the outside of your home.
In St. Peter will fly the trident, okay?
All right.
Will fly the trident.
All right. Yes. Thank you so much, Jason. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. And before I go, as usual, I want to say a pleasant and good night to the good people of St. Peter and by extension Barbados. And do not forget to like and subscribe this show. A lot of people watch the show, but they forget to like and subscribe. So do it. And tell a friend.
Thank you.
Tell a friend.
Thank you, Jason. It's a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you next week.
Next Sunday. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.